Welcome.
Episode 8.
We arrived. Yes. Episode 8.
It's sunny. The sun has decided to join us, and we're hopefully over the clouds and the rain.
We could only hope. Remember where we live.
I know, but the sun has been out more than I feel like the past 7 months.
You know, a thunderstorm last night.
I didn't hear it. I was definitely sleeping.
What time did you go to sleep?
Very early.
What's early?
8:30.
Okay.
But I woke up at 1 and started my day. So I had to clean my house. Y'all were coming to my house. I had to clean it. I knew I was gonna do it this morning.
Of course. So your anxiety woke you up?
No, I planned to get up
at 1 a.m.
Yes.
Like you put an alarm clock, and it was the alarm clock was 1 a.m.
Yep. Want to share your thoughts about that?
I'm a morning person. That's all.
Yeah, I'm
I
not,
just can't compute.
Yeah, I can't more. I can't do I'm not on in the morning the way that I am on at night. So things that involve me being on, I do when it's later in the day.
I want to say that I want to see you at night, but I don't because I will.
It's this. Oh, it's not different. It's like this, but I'm just able to focus longer and able to actually finish something.
What about it?
Maybe because it's quiet. I don't know. I think I'm just used to it. Maybe I've been doing it since high school. I feel like I've always been a person who got more things done as the day went on. So I can socialize better in the morning, but at night I'm I just get my little work done. I clean, all of it. It's just easier. And then I went to bed at 4 or something. I took a little nap. And then I got up again. And then I started my day. I made some tea.
What a beautiful life.
It works out for me. So,
Yeah.
But mornings, people who get up in the morning and start their day, I'm I can't do that.
It really does just depend on your body and when you have energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mornings are if it's work related, I could do emails in the morning. I could do some social things meetings. But if it's work to do, I have to make something, write something before 4 o'clock, it's not happening.
You see, for me, after 3 o'clock is not happening.
The work
my brain shuts
meetings?
off.
You mean both things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything creative has to get done before 3 o'clock.
What about meetings or emails or things that involve another person? Also before 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
I am actually most active between 10 a.m. to 3 o'clock. After that, you lost me. Before 10 a.m., I only like to talk to myself.
Yeah.
After 3 o'clock, I can be present, but I don't enjoy it.
Yeah. What is it for me? I think it depends on what it is. I can do a meeting before 10. It's not my preference, and I'll never schedule one for myself that's before 10, but if I'm in one, sure.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes to social things with people, I have one outing in me a day. Doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Mm-hmm.
I can do one dinner, one brunch, one and then the rest of it I'm dragging. I'm okay, I guess I'm here because I'm young and I can be outside or something. But I'm ready to go home.
The self-talk.
But yeah, I got one outing in me a day max.
Yeah, I don't know how people could be outside all day.
No. And then weekends that are busy, I have to let's say a social weekend is coming, I have to prepare for 2 weeks. I need to be alone beforehand. I need to prepare myself for what is 48 hours of interacting with people. Yeah, because I'm I know it's coming. I know I'm going to be with people for 48 hours. I'm never going to be alone. So I need to make sure that I'm doubled up on alone time before I go.
So you get energy from being around other people or not?
I think it depends. I think both can be true. I need to be alone. That needs to happen. I don't need to be with people. I like it. I enjoy it. It does give me energy. But I can't go without having alone time. I could go without socializing as much.
How long can you go without talking to someone else?
So long.
Give me a time frame.
I don't even know. I live alone, so it's very possible that I maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks without talking? I'm talking text message, phone call.
Yeah, I mean, I won't because people will be concerned about me. But for me, it would be fine. I have enough. Do you see how big this house is? How many rooms there are in it? how many hobbies I've started that I haven't finished. Like, I have enough things to do that I would be fine. How long do you think you could go?
Oh, without talking to people, probably a few days for sure. That's not the issue. For me, the issue is like being indoors.
Oh, you mean being indoors?
Yeah, like I can't be indoors
I would
for
go
a long
outside.
period of time.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I would go outside. I would just wouldn't. I would go outside on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I thought you meant like.
I need to see a sign of life.
Yeah. I agree. I think even for that, like maybe I could do it for a week. It probably means that I'm like struggling.
You could do what for
like
like
stay
indoors?
And, like,
yeah.
not go, if that's happening, I definitely can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Should I? Probably not.
Right.
But do I? Definitely.
Right.
Yes. But the not talking to people part is easy. Like I enjoy it, but it's
so funny because when I think about someone who's introverted or someone who's extroverted, there's never any nuance to it.
What do you mean?
It's either you are introverted or you're extroverted. There's no nuance in the conversation. And I don't necessarily categorize you as someone who is an introvert. You have introvert tendencies.
You consider me an extrovert?
Definitely not.
I was like, really? Was like,
no, definitely not. Definitely not. There's no way in hell.
I feel like the introvert stereotype is like shy, like quiet, and I don't feel that way. Like I think it depends on the environment, but
that's why I asked you, where do you get your energy from?
Yeah,
and that's how I can determine if someone.
Yeah, definitely from myself. I think like if I'm in a social space, I need social energy. Like I almost need the energy of the space to stay in it. Does that make sense? I think people who are extroverted, like they feel that way and they have that energy just without anyone else contributing. But I think for me, like if we're like at a day party, then I'm like taking the energy of the room to stay at a day party. But if you left me in the day party alone, I would probably sit down and like change the music and
change the music. I know.
So I don't know what that says about me. What about you?
I'm definitely not an extrovert.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't describe you as an extrovert.
I wouldn't describe myself.
I don't think you're an introvert though.
No, I'm not an introvert.
I think you're quieter, but I don't think that makes you an introvert.
I'm not shy.
Yeah.
So
at a day party, are you like woo? Or are you just present?
Not. Absolutely not. I am probably sitting somewhere. I will always find a seat because I'm tired. I'm tired regardless. You'll probably find me yawning at the day party. And
that's true. See, that doesn't happen to me. Like, I can rally.
No.
Yeah.
There is no rally in me.
I can rally. I've gotten used to rallying because I feel like my friends' plans start later than I'm ever interested in. I'm like, you want to go outside after 9 o'clock?
Absolutely
not. You want to start the day at 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I've told you, but when I was in college, I would just fall asleep at parties all the time. So it was like, very dangerous.
Be like in a room, loudness, drinking, all that, and you're just in the corner like...
Yeah. I would sleep standing up, especially in dorms. Can I show you? So, it's a twin-size bed. I would sleep like this.
On the bed. Put your face in the mattress. Because I had outside clothes on. I can't have my clothes on their beds. It was random. Some people would just be like walking around you, like having a party while you're just like your face is inside a pillow or something.
Yeah.
Were you like fully
I'm telling
out?
you, it was
like,
dangerous.
You were like out, like you'd be asleep.
Yeah.
Asleep. So how'd you wake up? Like how did you get out of the
They would wake me up when it was time to go.
And then you just like walk to your room and then go to sleep for real. That I wish I saw that in real life.
It was not my finest moment. I mean, sometimes I would even like actually get in bed and go to
someone else, like a random bed that's at the party.
I mean, if I knew the people that were hosting the party,
yeah, of course.
I wouldn't ask them to go do that.
Right.
I would just go.
Just find you in the corner asleep.
Yeah, or I would sleep, or I would leave the party early to go to sleep.
Are you like lacking sleep? What's going on?
It's not that I lack sleep.
Do you just enjoy it a lot? Like,
I could sleep for 12 hours straight. No problems.
Like right now, if it was like bedtime, you just go to sleep and then...
You didn't see me yawn earlier?
it's like 1 o'clock or something.
It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Why would it matter?
I don't know, because you have to like do stuff to be tired, I think.
No. That's why I think like it's like an actual concern of mine. I've gotten so much better though.
Have you ever gotten a sleep study or gone to a sleep study?
No, I don't. I'm not interested.
I'm curious if there's like something else going on. Probably not. You're probably fine. It's probably really healthy for your brain and your body for you to get rest like that.
The most I've slept is 12 hours though, straight.
Were you sick?
No. That's just a regular Tuesday.
I think we should like, you should give me some of your sleep, and then that way we'll have the same amount of sleep. I can't sleep more than like...
That's why I say I sleep on behalf of the collective.
I appreciate that because I definitely don't get it.
I do because so many people have sleep problems.
Yeah.
I do not. And for that, I am grateful every day. I thank the Lord every day that I sleep wonderfully. So...
Wow, okay.
Does it cause problems sometimes?
Yeah, people are like, so you don't want to hang out, you just want to go to sleep?
Yeah. And I'm...
What kind of problems has it caused for you?
It's not quite great when you go out with somebody and they're very tired. Yeah,
you like can't stay past,
like can't stay somewhere past 11 o'clock. Like
yeah, you might.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm so sorry. I don't want to be here anymore. I've reached my peak.
Time. My pillow is waiting for me.
Yeah. That's why it was either do a day party or a night party.
That I agree with.
Not both.
See, I agree with that.
There's no way.
I agree, and I think for me, like, I would also rather do one or the other. But if it is both, like, I can rally. Should I rally? Probably not.
You see, I can't.
Yeah, inability to. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd just be like, bye.
I don't think it's a growth area though. I think we should stay this way.
Yeah, I don't think it's not an issue for me. I don't want it to change. I don't care. But
I love that for you. Okay.
Yeah.
What else is bringing joy right now besides sleep?
Besides sleep?
Yeah. What else in life?
I got a facial last week and
Adulting.
Like, wow, being 27 and a half is so fun.
I love that.
I like love her. I love this version of myself. Yeah. And it was so nice. It reminded me of when we got massages for my birthday, like a year and a half ago. Yeah. I don't know. I think we talked about that experience a little bit.
Yes.
But I was like, someone's massaging my face. And they're just like all in my face, like rubbing it on purpose. So it brought me joy to try something new, something that I've never done before. I've been very hesitant. Like the girlies love it. Me, not so much. I was like, I like it clean. I don't need to be doing all the extra skincare, all the like, it's too expensive. I don't got the money to be doing all these things. Anyway, so that was an interesting and fun new experience. And for that, on its own, I enjoyed it.
I love that for you.
Yeah. What about you?
I got one facial also in my life.
Only one?
Yeah, I've only one.
Oh, okay.
I went to hit it. It was the same place.
Okay.
It was a while ago, but I was also scared. I was like, I walked in and I was like, this feels like I'm in a doctor's office. Mm-hmm. Everything, which is good. I guess it was clean, but yeah, the whole thing about somebody having their hands like over my eyes, like, was not my favorite experience, but it was a good time, and I'm good on it. But it was nice to like know my face was like really clean. But I can't believe people go do that like monthly.
I know.
I can't. Like I literally every single time she moved her hands here, I would like twitch and freak out. I was like, I need you to not surprise me with your hands over my eyes.
She was like, just like, focus on your breath.
Yeah. No.
I was like,
no, because while I'm breathing, your hand. No.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I can't do. It has to be like, I don't know, the direction. I can't do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the experience. It was nice to know my face was clean.
I even asked her, I was like, what's the history of facials?
She did not know. Oh.
Poor girl. Poor girl.
Our in-house academic, you know. Always the curious one. I love that about you.
I just feel like I'm very curious as to when women started to take care of themselves in that particular way.
Yeah.
Because women take care of themselves, like, it's just a lot to be a woman, you know what I mean? Like, I have a trip coming up and I'm like, I have to get my eyebrows done, I have to get my nails done, I have to do this, and I have to do this, and like I have to buy a new outfit,
$1 million.
Nah.
Your hair, like, you gotta bring products, outfits, options, backup options, different vibe, different, yeah. I feel you. I hate it, actually. I actively avoid a lot of those things.
Yeah. I'm like, wow. The amount of energy just to show up somewhere. When when men could just get a haircut.
I know. Oh, interesting. And some of them do all the stuff too.
They do. And for shout outs to y'all for real.
That's the last time I got my eyebrows
take care of yourself.
Was I think when you and I went, whenever that was,
which was July 2024, July 19th 2024.
The exact day was crazy. Yeah, it's just not like I don't ever remember to go, and I always go. I like go with a friend who's going because I just like it's not. Yeah, and I'm like, if my eyebrows are growing, then like that it's gonna be hair on my face. I don't know, like.
I love this aspect of of womanhood though.
It is really fun. I think what's hard for me with eyebrows is like I don't like being aware of mine, and I feel like when I get them done, I'm so aware of my eyebrows, and it makes me uncomfortable. So
it's the awareness.
It's just like why? Just it's okay. Let's hair on my face. Like it can be there. Like I can have hair on my face. I don't want to adjust it the way that it is. It's fine.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
fascinating.
But I think it's a thing you have to maintain if you do it.
Of course.
So it's why I'm like I think I've gotten it done like 3-4 times like total in my life, and I'm okay with having shapeless eyebrows, whatever it is. Like it's okay. Like it's fine. I can say as it is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What's bringing you joy these days?
The sun. I'm so glad the sun is here. I miss the sun and the birds. I've been hearing more little birds, and it's really cute. I like it. Yeah. The clouds and the grayness was like really just. I was kind of over. I was like, all right.
Yes.
It is the season of that has pleased. Like. I need it to pass. I'm glad it's getting warmer outside. I'm glad it's warm outside. I know Boston, doesn't matter what time of year you're in, you can find whatever weather you want. So I've been trying to just really like appreciate that the sun is out for a longer period of time than I feel like it was. So it's small, but it's like really changes my entire like brain chemistry.
100%.
For my house to be full of light instead of just grayness.
Full of darkness.
Yeah, no, actually, honestly, because like
yes,
the house like the front, this my plants might not die. We'll see, but the sun is here, so that has been bringing me a lot of joy.
Isn't it the best?
Yes,
isn't it the best?
Yeah.
Just like having a full day.
Yeah,
from the moment you wake up to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think for me, like it's hard for me to get up when it's not sunny. Like physically out of my bed. I'm just like I'm already tired because I went to sleep way too late, and it's not sunny, which means it's gray, which means it's basically nighttime, so I should be sleeping. So it's hard for me to
what happens in your brain.
Exactly. So then I'm like I have to wait for it to be sunny, but it won't be sunny all day. So it's just so it's been nice to be able to be like sun is outside, I can get up and like go outside, but like when it's raining and cold, it's hard. So I feel like very much like a plant in that if there is no sun, I'm just like droopy. The sun's and I'm like, yay! The sun goes away. I'm like, oh, almost immediately. So it's been nice to have a little more consistency in that regard.
Yeah, I am doing my best to go outside every day.
How's that going?
Great.
It's great. You like routine.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, I love a routine. Just stepping out, taking some fresh air. Like, oh wow, I'm a person again.
Yeah.
And then that's it. We're going like on a little walk or something. Just having something to go outside for instead of in the winter. It's really quite hard. There's nothing.
I've debated moving for that reason a lot. I'm like, where can I live where it doesn't get gray? I know it's not possible, but I know. I thought, or
at least it gets gray less.
Yeah, and I feel like here it's like it used to be more consistent. Like I feel like we had more even split between seasons, but now it's just.
It's whatever it wants to be.
Yeah.
You know what I do wish? I wish I had a garden. I want a garden.
Yeah.
What
would be in your garden?
Watermelons, basil, cilantro.
I don't know why I thought about just flowers.
All the herbs.
I didn't think about food at all. I was like, right. No, food.
Yeah,
you can like have a garden. I think it's available to you. You have to. It's some work and probably a new thing you gotta learn.
No.
Because you live in a city? Or no, because...
I mean, I live in an apartment.
Yeah, but people in apartments it's smaller and it involves more like logistics.
Yeah, that...
No, not interested.
Nope.
So you gotta move. That's the answer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is on my to-do list.
Well, we'll put it on our list of wishes for Adeline. For Bessie number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want that for you.
Wouldn't it be so nice?
Yeah. I would love to come get things from your garden. We love herbs.
Oh my god, a little tomato, and then I go to the kitchen and I cut my little tomato.
Then you eat a little tomato. You could have them. It could be sweets.
That's my dream life.
I think it's very available to you. If I have a homestead and you have a garden, we have a little community. I like it. I don't know how we make it happen.
That is actually what I'm working towards.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm glad.
Very slowly,
I'm glad we agree. Because last time we talked about grinding, I'm like, this is what I'm grinding towards.
But I think I still hold the slow grind will get us there.
100%.
Yeah, no more hustle. I can't do it. I don't have it in me.
No. And also, there's something to be said about doing something fast and getting a reward quickly. It feels more fleeting.
Gratification.
It feels more fleeting.
Because you got it so quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good lesson.
Can you hold on to it as quickly as you got it?
Ooh. Probably not.
Maybe that's just like the concern. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like, yeah, you're right. Because I feel like if you build a foundation that's really strong, like, there's nothing for you to lose. Because you built it. So, like, it's just kind of more cemented.
Yeah. I was talking to this woman that I'm supporting, and she said that it took her 10 years to buy her home.
I mean, that makes sense.
And it was very sad to hear that. It was actually very
You're like,
sad.
what year am I in until I buy a house?
Yeah. I was like...
Maybe like year
so
-4.
I will be 40. Cool. And she was talking to me about the fact that you have to build a strong foundation first.
Yeah.
That there are so many little things that you don't even think about, right? Like one maybe like paying off your debt. Right? I'm not going to get too deep into it, but that it takes a longer time than just looking at a house and saving money for a house and shopping for a home and getting the home.
Yeah.
There's this entire process beforehand. And that's something that you and I always talk about. Like, what is the actual process of something instead of just what is the end product? Yeah. So it was sad to hear, but it's true.
10 years feels, we've lived 2 of those, 2 decades of life, almost 3.
Almost 3.
So, okay, with that being said, what is something you feel like you started that you are now seeing the fruits of in life? Like, it could be anything. It could be like about you, about life, about your body, about your health, about wellness, anything. I just came up with the questions. I know it's okay if you don't have an answer. I don't have one either.
You don't have one.
I just thought about the question when you were talking. But I can come up with something. Yeah, we've lived, 28 years.
28 years, started a lot of things, right?
I feel like I started, I don't know if it was intentional when I started, but I feel like I've always wanted to have, things I do for myself. It can be I don't know, in any space. And I feel like I'm at a point in my life where, whether it's easy or not, I'm able to give myself a facial if I want one. Think about what my mornings look like and build routines I want. I think I started along maybe in college thinking about how do I want my time to be spent more intentionally. And I feel like I'm finally seeing the fruits of not only choosing the things, but they're so ingrained in my routine that I'm doing them. So that would be one. I think giving myself the opportunity, resources to be able to have a slow morning, pick the career, whatever those things are. I've given myself a lot of room to experience the things I've said I wanted.
I know. I remember when I was in college in my first semester and I had so much free time and I was like,
yeah, you're like, what do I do with all of it?
I was like, who's going to manage me? I need a manager. I need someone that actually tells me what I'm going to do every second of my day. And because I no longer had that, I was like, oh, there is so much opportunity.
Yes.
Of how I could spend my time.
A lot of power there.
Yeah. Did I do the things I wanted to do then? In some ways.
That's why I said, I don't know, I started when I started, but I was definitely doing things I wanted. To be things that I wanted.
Right.
No, I wanted things I thought that I couldn't have. Or that people were saying no to me to have. And then I was like, oh, I actually don't want this. They were saying no to me for a reason.
Give me an example.
I think just staying up really late, eating what I wanted. I was like, now I can have whatever. I could have ice cream every day, whatever. I could do all that stuff. And maybe for a couple of days, I was like, yeah. Then I was like, no, this is a horrible feeling. Yeah. Actually, so trying to learn discipline and be like, oh, the things that people say no to you when you're younger it's not just because they can versus what's good for you. And I feel I learned some of that through just being I'm giving myself this thing that I was like denied or whatever, and then being like, oh, I actually don't want this experience for myself.
And there's nuance in that.
Yeah.
One, I definitely think that people need to learn things on their own, because if you just tell someone something with the kindest heart, trying to protect them from a particular experience, they still have to learn on their own, regardless of what that thing is. And on the other side, there is some wisdom to listening to older people telling you something, being like, oh, there might be a reason why they are sharing that. So
yeah, I listen better now though. I guess like even after 1 or 2 times of doing something that I was told I couldn't do and doing it and not working out, like I more quickly accepted someone telling me no. I was like, oh, okay, there's probably a reason, and like I didn't question it as much. So even that I think was a lesson.
Yeah, but when I think about something that I've started, was what you asked me,
that you are seeing the like fruits of now that it's been maybe 10 years or it's been maybe 15 years.
Oh my goodness. Life is so long.
I know.
Life is so fucking long. I would say somewhat similar, just deciding how I want to spend my time. It doesn't feel tangible, I guess, but just like having a version of how I want to spend my time. Like, I mean, when I was 16, that's when I went natural.
With your hair?
With my hair. I was 16 and a whole journey, And now, 10 plus years later, I'm like,
you're a curly hair girly.
I know how to take care of my hair. And like, now I'm not as strict as I used to be in terms of like straightening my hair. Just like, I understand what my hair needs now. And taking care of myself feels so fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than like other things. Like, yes, I'll take an hour to braid my hair and I will stay with my braids all week and I don't have to do my hair. Like those things bring me a sense of joy, and having like Sundays are usually the day that I spend taking care of myself in like the full aspect of what that looks like. And it doesn't feel burdensome anymore. I felt like I was trying, like, yeah, I still want to learn to do a specific hairstyle or whatever, like a small thing is, but there is something about knowing how to take care of yourself and continuing to learn how to do that. And it's been more than 10 years.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of I've tried a lot.
Your hair is very healthy and nourished. I'm glad it doesn't feel burdensome. What do you feel like shifted that, like from it feeling like work and labor to something you enjoy and spend more time doing?
I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe it's you can be creative. There's a certain level of creativity that comes with doing your hair. It's like, ooh, what do I want to look like? What do I want to feel like? What do I want to emote? And your hair is a huge part of that. Like, I've cut my hair so many times and I don't care. I'm like, my hair will grow back. And so just going through the process of knowing that it will change over time, and it is my responsibility to take care of it to the extent that I can, I feel like is what's shifted. Because at first with anything, it just felt hard. I didn't know what products went with my hair. I didn't know what my hair type, all the things that like with literally every single body part you have to like learn like what works well, what doesn't work well, what does my body respond to, what doesn't it respond to. So I feel like now I'm at a place where I'm like, I know what my hair really likes water.
Right.
At its like most basic level. But so I feel like that's what changed, just knowing what works.
So being a beginner of it, like being a willing student of it.
Yeah.
Enough that you felt more comfortable as like more maybe expert or like a more established student feels.
I think it's another example of practice, what it means to practice something over a long period of time. And then somewhere along the line, you're on the other side and you know more.
Sounds very
like,
wise.
Wow, I got here. And you can learn that lesson with anything.
Yeah.
And it's a lesson that I feel like I keep coming back to time and time again.
Yeah. That's why you have to always, I think my takeaway is always like, every day is a day you can try. Mm-hmm. Even if you could have tried yesterday, should have tried tomorrow, whatever it is.
100%.
Like let's say you have really bad habits with your hair up until like this exact moment at 2:15, right? Then tomorrow, you try again.
You try
new
again.
product, you wash your hair, whatever. So everything is always, until you die, you try again. Like, everything's available.
So you take your last breath.
Yeah, and you're right. I think it's good that like these are things that you can learn about yourself within yourself, because you can apply them now then with external spaces like work, people, whatever it may be. But
yeah,
you have a lot of opportunity for lesson learning with just your body. Like nothing with like isolation in you. If that was the case, like you could learn a lot of lessons if you were paying attention to the way your body responds to you or doesn't respond, whatever it is, right? How aware are you? How quickly are you willing to change something if it's not working? How quickly do you believe your body when it tells you something?
Yeah.
These are all like, you know, and this lesson I think is true for like in your relationships. Like how quickly do you believe someone's experience? Like it's the same. It's all like universally the same information that is, you're always being communicated with.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I like that.
I definitely agree that the lessons that you learn on your own are lessons that could be used in every other aspect of your life. Like, I think the lesson that I've been learning recently,
love, yeah,
and I've been learning it for a really long time. I don't know if I'll ever
be done learning it. That's okay.
Be done learning it, and that's just life. Is around perfectionism. I've come to learn that the more that I want to be perfect, the more mistakes that I make, and the more careless mistakes.
When you're trying to be perfect, like before you present something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's happening to me a lot at work, and I'm like, oh, I know how to do this thing. Like, why am I trying? Like, what's happening? What is happening that I wanted to be perfect? Because I already know how to do this thing, so I know how to do it well.
Right.
And I noticed that every time I put pressure on myself to do something perfect, I make a small mistake. And I'm like, that's so frustrating. That's so frustrating. And I've had to do a lot of like self-correction the last few weeks just to say, I know how to do what I'm being asked to do. And I need to trust myself the first time so that I don't put this pressure on myself to perform every single time, because I am capable and I am worthy just because. Not because I'm doing this thing, just because.
Yeah.
And it's been hard. It's been very hard.
You can do hard things.
Being a recovering perfectionist is not for the weak.
No, it is not. And here's to, staying in recovery.
Yeah, staying in recovery.
Yeah.
I like that.
What's my version of that? I think mine's similar. I think it looks different for me is that I'm always reminded. Let me back up. So there was a workshop I had to do recently that I was facilitating, and I've been doing workshops and teaching whatever it is for a long time, like since I was in high school. So I know it in my bones. It's a skill I have, all the things, and still to this day, like the 15 minutes before a workshop, like I'm like, oh my god, what does this word even mean? I've never heard it before in my life, and it's this interesting thing where like I won't have any anxiety or anything about it up until the moment that it's happening, and like people are coming to the room and like we're getting set up, and like I lose my marbles basically for like 20. I'm like hi, and the beginning is always really awkward. I don't know why that happens still, because it's always gonna be fine, because it's something that I've been doing for so long. So it was on Friday, and I was prepping in the room that I was in, and the room was set up like a classroom. So there was like a front board, whatever, and like a lot of rows of chairs and desks. And I was like, this is not who I am. I can't do this. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna like stand here, I guess, and try. But then I don't know why I forgot that I could move all the chairs and like just rearrange the room really quickly. So as folks were coming in, I was like doing that. I was like moving the chairs around. And somebody was like, oh, like, are you in this presentation as well? And I got so embarrassed to be like, no, I'm actually facilitating it. I just didn't say anything. I was like, no, I just need to move the chair. Like, I need to move the chairs around. And then after that, I was like, hi, like, I apologize. And I was like, my name is Linda. Like, I'll be the facilitator. And they were like, oh, okay, cool. And then it was fine.
Of course.
But like for the 20 minutes, I don't know what happened. So I don't know. I don't think I'm learning it either. But I've noticed that it happens no matter how long I've been doing it or how many like workshops whatever that I had 2 like back to back, and the second one was fine because I was already like facilitating. But I don't know, like there's this thing that happens before something is due or someone's gonna see it that feels like I've never done it before in my life. And it's my very first time like being here, you know, like so strange. So I don't know. I think I need to learn a similar lesson. But I feel like I've learned it. But I don't know why the experience then is not like matching the lesson.
That means it needs to be relearned again.
Yeah, but like when or where, right? Because I feel like it's always it's always that same time period. It's like just the 10 minutes before it happens, like up until then, and right when it starts, like it's not an issue. So I don't know, like I don't know how to do it, how to change that experience for myself. But I think it's the same lesson you're trying to learn. Like I make a lot more mistakes when when I don't trust that I'm the person who should be like speaking about something.
Oof.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's, you know, the ongoing conversation internally is like, people who don't know shit be talking
all the fucking time.
And they have microphones.
They have bigger microphones, bigger ones.
Yeah. And maybe they feel this way, I don't know, but I've never seen them like hesitate or stutter in my life, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's that like I know that words are important, and I know people listen to me when I do talk, right? So like I don't want to ever like say things carelessly. So maybe that's part of it. But it's been an interesting experience. I was sitting there after the workshop being like, wow, like the beginning was so frazzled. Like, and I don't know why it was so frazzled when I don't feel nervous about this topic or whatever it was.
And you've taught it time and time again.
Times, like with my eyes closed, but with one hand behind my back. Like it's not, you know, it's relational practice. It's this thing that we do like every day. So yeah, I don't know. So I think we're always gonna like come against the lessons we've learned, lessons we're learning. And I don't know if there's ever gonna be a version of me that doesn't freak out for 20 minutes. Maybe I just have to accept that that's just the way that the lesson has landed. Yeah. And that's just what it's gonna look like. Yeah. But the perfectionist in me is like, that can't happen. Because then I'm not like perfect or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And somewhat similarly for me is allowing myself to make mistakes or showing up imperfectly, which is something you and I hard always talk about, which is basically what happens.
It's also why we're doing this entire podcast.
Exactly. So it's fascinating to be in the world and be like, oh, okay, I'm learning this lesson again. Right. And again. And it's with different people. So what is it trying to teach me? Yeah. And very similarly, even with, with perfectionism, I've had to tell myself, like, what is this trying to tell me?
Yeah. What do you think it is? It's okay to make mistakes.
It's okay to make mistakes. Trust myself. Trust myself the first time. Yeah. Yeah. That's hard.
The first time is the key. It's the key part.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because there were a lot of moments in the last few weeks where I've had a thought and I didn't say anything out loud to anyone else about it. And then other people came to me and share the exact same thing.
And you can't say that, well, I actually did think about that. They'll be like,
I'm like, I thought about it first.
Right. And they're like, why didn't you do the thing then? Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't trust myself enough. Awkward.
Did you say that?
Of course not.
I was like, I feel like that might actually resolve the lesson. Might just be that learning how to name that. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I mean, I'm still learning it too, but maybe there's the value in like showing up that way. Be like, yeah, like I actually doubted myself like for a moment, you know, and like I'm gonna practice not doubting myself in the future.
I've said that in small ways. Yeah, I don't know if I've said it that clearly ever.
Yeah, I don't know if that's easy. I couldn't imagine it either, but that might be, you know, like when I like said sorry and restarted with the person who walked in the room, like that felt honest because I was like, I clearly didn't interact with you in a way that like felt good to you or to me, honestly, and like I didn't know how to move through that situation without being like, hey, like I was just frazzled, like I'm about to start, like, you know, and it kind of like eased us back into like some sort of like more socially informal space. Yeah. I don't know. That's a lesson, but
this is somewhat connected to it, but I've been thinking a lot lately about what it means to meet someone who sees you bigger than you see yourself and how willing they are to help you see yourself bigger and the kind of struggle that creates in the relationship between the two of you. Like I I met someone recently, and she's really like, she's testing all the versions of me that want to stay small. And she's really supporting me in the process of understanding why I feel the way I do, understanding the conditioning that's tied to my feelings of smallness, and her continuously reminding me, you can be big here. You don't have to play small anymore. And I'm like, but I don't know how.
You're like, I am small too. I
am. And it's very challenging.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about being in that kind of relationship with someone else. Like, I think our friendship in a lot of ways feels that way.
I agree.
Where I'm like, oh, you're asking me to show up in like my most authentic, vulnerable, highest self. I'm like, I don't always want to do that. And I'm not always willing to do that. And I don't always feel safe to do that. And so how do you navigate that with other people? And it's like, I want to see myself the way you see me. Yeah. And I believe, and a part of me believes what you're seeing is true and how I'm showing up. And there's a part of me that I'm still wrestling that is showing up here.
Fun, complicated.
I know, it's been interesting.
Yeah. I think all I'll add is like moving at the speed of trust. It's the only way that can work, I think. Right? There has to be like, because I think the way, if I'm understanding you correctly, it's like, if I see you bigger than you see yourself, there's a version of this where I push you too far and you fail, right? And then you end up being like, see, I am small. And then now this, like, we've ruined this relationship. There's also a version where, like, I get tired of telling you and I get tired of correcting you, right? That's an option. So I think the delicate dance has to be at the speed of trust. You with yourself, you with the person that sees you that way, and them with you enough that you're hearing whatever it may be. Like, there's like, and I think sometimes if people see you bigger than you, like, they might expect you to get to the way they see you faster than you're able to. You know? And I think that's an interesting tension, because, like, if I, as a person, if I was in your shoes, right? If I'm the person who, like, is seen bigger, like, no one will know all the stories in your head. Even if they're 100%. Stupid or untrue or whatever, like, of course. Or, like, there's not a world in which, like, someone will understand, and if you ever tell them, it'll sound like you're making an excuse for why you're not showing up more or stepping up, whatever it is. But
it's not ever one reason,
right? But I think it's like hard because, like, it's hard to kind of be like, I know you see me this way, I don't want to disappoint you. Now there's like expectation, all these things are there, right? So I think it's delicate, and the reason why I think why it kind of works in our friendship, please correct me if I'm wrong, is like there's like, I see you in ways that maybe you don't see yourself. That's true, right? But I also love you enough to, like, let you be where you are. Exactly. Right? I might be like, just so you know, it's available to you. Right. And that's all. And that's like, and then I'm gonna put it down. Like, I'm gonna be like, and then if there's any room or a space where you're like trying a thing, like that I'm stepping in a different way to make sure that you don't, like, fail, right? Like, or I'm supporting you do the thing that you really want, or making sure, like, you get celebrated for the thing that you were, like, nervous to try. Like, that's the way, right? Yeah. Like, but that's, like, because we're friends. But I think if it's like a working relationship or whatever else, like, I think the delicacy is, like, kind of gone. There's some, like, expectation attached, or they're, like, kind of waiting for you, and it's not reciprocal. I don't know. So, like, it changes. But that isn't a really interesting dynamic. I think it happens more than people realize. Yeah. And I think it might accidentally end some relationships without that ever being named. Exactly. For why there was, like, a problem.
Oh, 100%. Like, you expect more from me than I think I am willing to give,
or capable of giving,
and that creates a lot of issues. That's why even earlier I said you have to allow people to experience things at their own pace, and it's moving at the speed of trust.
Yeah, it's the only way. Yeah, and trust is nuanced. It's like, you might trust me, but I might not trust me, and it's like, are we gonna not be friends because I don't trust myself? Like, is that real? Like, and also, I mean, and maybe, I guess that feels appropriate.
To me, being in relationship with other people, depending on at every stage in your life, requires that. I want you to see me. I want you to see my potential, and I want to see yours. And that's why we're in relationship in a lot of ways, because we're trying to grow and help each other grow in that process. And so I think we have a lot of people in our lives that we can say that about.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Those relationships are hard.
Yeah.
They're not easier because you see the best in me. Like, I had a friend a few weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago, tell me like, I trust you a lot.
You're like,
I trust your judgment more than I trust anyone else's judgment. So when you're ready to do something, I know that you have thought about it carefully. And I was like, that is so much pressure.
Like,
I love you. And like, I'm grateful that you see me this way. And that's so much pressure. Because I've had people in my life, even friends, that I hate to use the word idolize me, but don't see that I can make mistakes or don't see the ways that I like struggle with myself. They just see like all the good things. And I'm like,
or like your final products of things, like things that you like struggle to finally like make true in your life.
Yeah. Like even yesterday it happened. Someone was like, I'm surprised that you like experience anxiety sometimes because I just see you as a very calm person. And I was like, yeah. And my experience of myself is very different than your experience of me.
I'm actually always anxious every day. Like
I'm actually anxious on like a random Tuesday at 9 a.m. You know? And so it's always interesting coming up against yourself and other people's perception of you.
Yeah.
And acknowledging when they're true.
Yeah. And how much work you want to do to like, maybe not correct it, but to like bring it back to like closer to your reality. Mm-hmm. Just so we can like not be so misaligned. Yeah. It happens to me a lot too. I think we are so similar in our experiences of people, but I think I've experienced where people are like, oh, like I'm so surprised that like you're tired. I don't know, or like you do so much. Like I'm surprised that like you like I don't know like that you like had an off day or that you like couldn't finish this, whatever it is, and I'm just like, why?
Am I a fucking human?
I'm like, why is this surprising to you? Like, are you tired? Me too. Like
always,
you know,
actually.
like right. So it's interesting because like. I think I've gotten to a point where I don't spend energy correcting it, depending on who they are, right? And I think people who are closer to me don't have such a far away idea of who I am. That's also been my job to make sure I'm like sharing more, right? Because sometimes I think for me, part of that perception or that difference comes from like you don't have enough context for my life. You only see like you've only ever seen like what I put on the internet, whatever. Like you've only ever seen me at like my graduation, whatever. You've only seen me at an end result of something. You've seen me present a polished thing. You haven't been close enough to me to see the process. Yeah, so I can't fault you for not knowing that I like almost missed this deadline or whatever it is, unless I'm like either willing to tell you that, or like I should be wrong, right? Like so, I think my accountability in my version of those has been like. How accurate do I want this person's idea of me to be, and how much work am I willing to put in to support them see me the way that I actually am or not, which is also hard.
And people will see you how they see you, regardless.
No matter what you do. That's not a lesson I've learned.
Regardless, you could tell them my favorite color is fucking green, and they're like, no, you wear purple every day, so purple's your favorite color. Like, people make up stories in their head about you all day, every night, in the darkest hour, in the earliest of nights,
and they speak on it to other people.
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
So I have found a separation.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, you perceive me as a calm person. That's true, and that's not always my experience of myself.
Yeah.
So acknowledging that both things can be true at the same time has actually helped me, because before I was just like, oh, you believe this thing about me, so like it must be true. Yeah. Like you know me better than I know myself, and we know that's not true.
Yeah, I took away the opposite thing of just like if someone sees something in me that I don't see myself, I think my instinct is to not believe them.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, well,
fair.
I'm like, I don't know where that came from, because clearly I live in my body. I know my experience, and that's not my experience. So. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
But what if you hear the same thing over and over? Like I hear that you have a calm demeanor.
Yeah,
pretty much with every person I meet, and I'm like, okay.
But I think like this is such an interesting, like it's so intertwined in all of our other conversations. Like I think that has to do with what people think the word calm means, right? Like what is calm, and what does calm mean to me? What does calm mean to you? Maybe for some people, calm means like I'm never gonna raise my voice.
Yeah,
I don't know, right? So I struggle because I'm like, I've also been read that way, and like I don't feel like I'm always a calm person, and like then the question becomes like, how important is what I think is true in this conversation? Like, how important is it? And that has been like, I think the work of like, for at least for me, like as a person who was always miscategorized or like for not emoting appropriately or whatever it is, that's why I got a feelings wheel, so I can make sure I'm like getting better at, you know, like identifying it. But people are so quick to add labels to things. But I think what feels different is the initial thing you said about a dynamic between a person who sees you bigger than you, and this feels different to me, right? Like when I think of, I'll use me as an example here because I talk about myself, like me like selling things at events, and you here, right? Like that dynamic of ours, like I like, obviously part of me is like, of course I see that it's possible, I do it, whatever, it would be cool, right? But I think what I appreciate about your approach of it is you're just like, hey, it's here. There's an application, I hope you do it. Let me know if you end up not doing it, right? Like that is the thing as far as I could handle, right? If like you and I had beef about that, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I'd be like, I don't want to fight with you, I don't know what to do, right? But I think there's a version of this where like you and I are having an argument about it, where you're like, I've tried to help you and like you won't take my help. Then we're like having a fight. I don't know what the fight is really about, because it's all internal. It's nothing to do with the support you're being offered. So I think in some dynamics, like it could feel like loving and supportive and you're held well, or it could feel like someone is like perpetually looking at you and being like, well, you're not busy enough, so why aren't you doing this thing that I'm off, you know, like, so it depends.
Or you said you wanted to do this, clearly you don't want to do it.
Exactly, right?
I heard
like,
that a lot.
Yeah, me too, which is why I stopped telling people I want to do stuff, because I'm like, I don't need no accountability from anybody but myself. Like, it's okay.
100%.
Right? So like I feel like and I hope you feel this way, is like I share things with you that I want to do because like I know you will hold them in your head somewhere, but like you're not gonna like make a fucking project plan for me tomorrow, because that's not what I'm looking for. I could do that like like when I have time for it.
You're more than capable of doing.
You know what I mean? Like I got all the trackers, and like I hope like for you with like yoga things, like I was like, okay, there's a space you can teach yoga in that I know about. If you do it, great. If you don't, amazing. But like there's an opportunity available to you if you're interested in it. And that is and like I can't have more attachment to you doing it than you do if it's for you. And that I think is where people fail, right?
Girl,
I can't hold your dream better than you. I can't. I'm not gonna do it.
No,
it doesn't help you either. So like,
I'm not willing to.
Exactly. So like, people get really attached to like the dreams they have for other people and like their investment in them. And that's where I feel like it's really hard for me, because at any given day, like maybe I have energy today to plan my entire summer, whatever it is, right? Like, tomorrow is a different day. I don't know. I hope that I can maintain it and sustain it, but I don't need the like, I don't know. It's hard to think about like how to not disappoint someone when it's for yourself. Like, it's not for you. So, you know, I don't know. So that feels different to me than like someone misrepresenting me.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're connected.
It's all connected.
They're all connected, but like
it's like a diagram or something.
One is just irritating. Like one is just irritating, and like it ends relationships with me really quickly. Like I think I've done a pretty good job of like, there's no one in my life currently who does that to me. Who does like, you are a certain way and it's far from who I am. That doesn't happen as much as it used to me. But I think it has to do with like the fact that I share more with people who are in my life, or at least I try to. Yeah. Be like, here's how I'm feeling. When I look this way, here's what I mean. Whatever it is, like I've tried to do that more. So I feel like people have a pretty good sense generally of like the way that I am. Whereas when I was younger, I feel like I was always like, who are you guys talking about? Like, who are you describing? Because it can't be me. I'm right. Like, it's not accurate.
Yeah. At least for me, and you said something similar earlier, people don't know how much work it has taken me to be perceived this way.
The way that they perceive you, or
the way that they perceive me, right? So, like, if you met me at 16, no one would describe me as calm. No one. Not even someone who's dead. Like, no one. So, there's something to be said about, yes, you perceive me this way, and it has taken me a really long time to show up here this way and show up in different spaces in my life. So to me, it doesn't always feel like it's completely like misaligned or far. To me, there's just no nuance. And that's the problem that I have with it. Right? Like, you are calm.
You are always calm.
You are always calm. No,
like,
that's not true.
Right. I know
maybe
how to
when I'm with
myself.
you,
right.
Depending on the setting that we're in, I'm calmer.
I think when people, first of all, like, I don't always want to hear how you perceive me. Like, I'm not always interested in listening to your take. I didn't ask for your take. So that's hard because I don't know what to do with it when it's like just given to me and I'm like, oh.
Like, nobody fucking asked you.
Like, for real, you know. So I struggled because I'm like, I was trying not to be aware of myself when you pushed me to be in a way that I was like not looking for. So that's an experience that I feel like I've had, that I'm like, then I get really subconscious and then I want to leave immediately and I don't want to be there. So like sometimes it's like, do you need to speak? Like, is the thing you're gonna say going to make experience for anyone in the room better? If it's not, do you need to, like, what if you don't say, tell your phone, text it to yourself, I don't know, put it in a note, make a little voice note, like, and it happens way less now, but I feel like when I was an undergrad, people were always telling me what they thought, and I was like,
yeah, people need to journal more. I just
didn't ask you to share, and now, knowingly, because of who I am, like, I have your interpretation of something in my head that I'm trying to understand if it was real or not real, and I'm doing all this other work now and questioning who I am, whatever, all the stuff happens on the other side of that, which is mine to own, but I don't tell people stuff unless I feel like it's going to be useful to them.
Mm-hmm. And it's also frustrating when people think they know you and they actually don't.
Yeah.
And they made up this whole story about you, and
the story is like crazy. I'm like, what?
And I don't have it in me to fight with people's stories anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm too grown. You want to believe that about me? Go right ahead. I'm still here. I'm still breathing. And you still miserable. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's wild. I think when I was younger, I like, it's almost like a reflex. I had no choice but to be like, no, like, that's not true, or like, I'm not that person, or whatever it may be. And like, you know, they've gotten older, you know, a little slower. I kind of just listen, and I'm like, okay, you want to see me in this negative light. Okay.
And I could spend the rest of my life trying to change your opinion.
Yeah.
And it may not change.
And even if I could change it, like, why do I want to? Like, if you see me in a negative, if you, like, for example, if I'm your friend and I see you in a negative light, then the way I share that with you is in a way that's going to help you show up better. You know what I mean?
Hopefully.
Right. If I'm your friend, if I'm like really in my heart and, you know, trying to be a good person in your life, right? If I'm not doing it that way, then like, I could try for you to see me differently, but like, why? What kind of friendship is that on the other side that we even have, where you felt comfortable speaking to me like that, or telling me that, like, whatever you told me? I don't know. Sometimes just shut up.
If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
You know,
I learned that lesson in sixth grade.
Right.
Sixth grade.
It's still relevant now, okay?
So the day I die, I will say that. I'm like,
yeah.
Is what I'm going to say important?
Yeah.
No.
And the other one, what is it? The golden rule, like, treat others. I think it was treat others how you want to be treated. But yeah. I think I will treat you how you want to be treated.
Exactly. Yeah. Treat others how they want to be treated.
Yeah, which means I gotta ask you a question. Because some people want to be treated badly.
Yeah.
Don't treat me that way. If that's what your experience that you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. So now I feel like we did a lot of moving around, but I like this episode. I like episodes like this one.
What have you learned today?
Like, for myself or for our lovely viewers?
For yourself first.
I mean, I feel like it's always the same lesson. Like, talking it out is the best way to understand yourself.
Are we verbal processors?
I think so. I think I'm both. I think I need alone time. I need the experience to, like, sit. But I think I've learned that the way I retell a story shows me what about it is hard for me. Like, because I've like told a story about the facilitation thing like a couple times, and like that wasn't my focus point. Like, I think I just told it as like, oh yeah, like someone came in early and it was awkward. So I think with you it works that way for me because
interesting. Yeah.
So I think yeah, my takeaways are that one, that it helps me to talk to you specifically, just like in life. I think that I'm appreciating my age. I think I'm appreciating, like, you know, I know, and it's hard because like there's still some places in my life where I resort back to a different age, and it's even harder because I know I'm doing it now, you know, like, because I know, like, my life looks like this most of the time. When it doesn't, I'm like, okay, I feel like I am 11 and whatever it is, and it feels harder to feel that way knowing that I'm feeling that way. It almost feels like I'm gaslighting myself a little bit. So I'm appreciating the things like being observant in my life has taught me about myself and about the kind of communities that I create for myself, that I'm willing to be a part of. And my takeaway is that my threshold for like what I tolerate in people is very low. It was not always low. And like, it just is actually, I'm kind, but it's very low. Like it just leaves, I don't even like, the minute I hear it, I'm like, yeah, we're just not gonna be friends. It's fine. But it's really, really low.
Yo, I have scissors on deck.
Yeah.
Ready
like,
to cut.
I don't even gotta cut. We're not even beginning it. Like, it's not even starting. Like, yeah. I think like this is like maybe a year ago, I met somebody at work and we were like new coworkers. And she said like, oh, like you didn't respond to me. And in my head I was like, yeah, like it's okay. Like I don't even want to touch like whatever like deep thing that becomes. And like I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I made sure I responded to her and I haven't talked to her since.
Yeah.
And like maybe she's a perfectly nice person that nothing's wrong with her, but like no. I don't have the energy to like work through a new relationship with anyone like that. So yeah, what about for you? What are some of your takeaways?
A takeaway for me is sharing your experience matters. Talking things out is important, is generative, and just like you said, you could tell the same story 3 different times, and the third time it may be a very different focal point, depending on what's happening in your life, depending on what lessons you're learning. And it's funny because I never consider myself to be a verbal processor, but I definitely do think that I learn through doing. That's always been true. And I learn through speaking. And there are moments where I'm talking and I'm self-correcting in real time. And I feel like it happens faster. I digest it faster. And so regardless of how hard it is to continue to speak, to know that even the little tiny moments can be humongous and can change your entire perception of yourself and of other people. So,
wow, so much learning. Look at us. Okay,
we're always learning.
For our viewers, yeah, perpetually lifelong learners. What about for our listeners and viewers? What do you hope they take away from this episode?
Listen to how other people perceive you and decide what feels true. Always know that you can discard what doesn't feel true. And you can pick up what you want to be true in the future that may not be right now.
I love that. That was so like well said.
Yeah, I've been thinking things.
I don't have pretty words. I think what I'll add is there should be a filter between the things people say to you and the things that live inside your body. Like there should be like a pretty good screening process, you know, because people just be saying stuff out loud without consideration. So, you know, don't fall victim to someone else's projections.
Because people are projecting 90% of the time.
Yeah, and they don't even know it.
I'm like, oh, that's your shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
learning that lesson has been my favorite one of my life.
Me too.
I'm like, oh, you're just having a bad day. Got it. Okay.
That's why you're treating me like shit. Understood. Now I know how to respond to you.
Yeah, it makes less beef in my life. I'm like, oh, you're just sad. Got it. Okay.
Oh my goodness. When I tell you that I used to believe everything people said, and then at some point I learned that their experience had nothing to do with me.
Even though all their words are about you.
Yeah. And the key is recognizing that it's not your shit. Like I constantly ask myself that. I'm like, is this mine or is this someone else's?
Right. And I think the harder lesson was the opposite, learning when I was doing it. And I was like,
and we do it all the time.
I was like, I might be upset about something else right now, you know? And learning how to be like, hey, like, my bad. Like, I definitely had some other things going on.
Yeah.
So that part was harder, but I think both those are really important. And I hope the other takeaway is that you have one life and your container of your life looks the way you want it to. And if you want to have a bad experience, it's available to you. If you want a better one, you have to kind of internalize the things that you say to yourself, that we are saying out loud, that people are telling you. Like, life is like community. Like, there's collaboration in the way you think about yourself. And please let good people inform that. And don't let people who don't like you inform it.
And I will always say this, you are the longest relationship you'll ever have.
Yeah.
That's why consistently we interrogate our experience, because that's the only way that we'll ever learn. Yeah, I learn by being in a relationship with other people, and I learn by being in a relationship with myself.
But you only got to deal with yourself at the end of the day. Like, you know, like...
I got to come home to myself.
Once they both leave my house today, it's going to be just me here. So I can either keep lying to myself or tell myself the truth.
And you can lie
the
for a while.
The truth is way more fun. It's an easier experience. It's a more joyful experience, you know?
Right.
So tell yourself the truth and try to have a good relationship with yourself. You know? Life is hard otherwise.
Every day.
And that's a wrap.